We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves. We making major moves. We going all in. Like we got nothing to lose. We making moves. We making major moves.
What is up, everybody? I'm Mr. Man. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a good hot minute since I've been in the lab cooking up. So I'm back. I'm here. I got some information for you guys. We're talking about the RTGS system, the real-time gross settlement system. And what this is, essentially, it's a settlement system. So when you go to the bank, or when you tap your phone, tap your debit card or your credit card, and it transfers to the other end, to the end user, whether the end user is a bill payment or somebody else, that can technically be considered a real-time gross settlement system. However, RTGS, real-time gross settlement systems, are typically wholesale, meaning it's back-ends for banks. So let's go through that, what that is today, and I'll show you exactly where Ripple fits in. So here we have Project Stella. This is an old one, I want to say back from 2022. You have the European Central Bank, the ECB, and the BOJ, Bank of Japan. This is 2019. There we go. So I'm just going to control F and get to the RTGS system. There we go. So this is talking about transferring from one ledger to the next using an RTGS system, and this is essentially what it looks like. First leg on ledger, the euro ledger here, right? This is the ECB, and then it gets transferred over here to the yen, or whatever the Japanese dollar is, yuan, yen. I'm not even sure. JPY. There we go. So here's what it says. So against this background, Stella Phase 3 explores whether cross-border payments could potentially be improved, especially in terms of safety by using new technologies. Concretely, it analyzes global interoperability on the basis of a protocol for interledger payments being used. Interledger payments, okay? Interledger is a Ripple initiative as well. Between the centralized ledger, for example, a ledger operated by a commercial bank, or a real-time gross settlement system, an RTGS, operated by a central bank, and a DLT. Between a DLT ledger and also between centralized ledgers. So between a decentralized ledger and a centralized ledger. The decentralized ledgers are the intermediaries amongst all of this, thereby focusing on back-end arrangements of cross-border fund transfers. Okay, so let me give you an overview of what an RTGS system is. Give me a second, let me just mute this here.
So it's a really fascinating time because, as you imagine, the consumer-driven demand for real-time payments has caused a lot of strain on the back-end systems of the bank and the underpinning of the economy. And so what most RTGS programs across the world right now are looking at is modernizing what's the next evolution of their system. And so whether it's the Bank of England RTGS renewal program or Europe's Target 2 program, and underpinning that is a new ISO messaging standard called ISO 20022. It's a messaging standard, which is an IT program, but the implications of that to the business enable a much more faster real-time API-driven systems, and also ensures that safe and secure transactions continue for us as consumers every day into the future. Obviously, from an IT service provider standpoint, all of our clients are now undertaking massive transformation of and program change within their IT portfolios. Many really underestimate the implications and impact of even a messaging change across all of their legacy systems. Whether it's just working through the program of IT change, or looking more broadly to say, is this an opportunity now to address a larger portfolio of payment modernization and transformation for the bank. That's really where the dialogue with our clients is going. So we have, from a CGI perspective, steeped in decades of history in payment modernization. In fact, CGI built the original RTGS system in the UK and has spent many years fine-tuning and developing solutions for payment transformation. I think most of the clients have not planned for this change or able to anticipate all of the things that they're going to need to do in time to meet the deadlines that are imposed by the central banks. We already know that next year is going to be a really big year for the Bank of England. Notwithstanding the pandemic and all the challenges that we've all been facing, this massive program is underway and broadly, according to the bank, on schedule, which means that all of the commercial banks need to be prepared for their change, so they will be able to continue to talk to and interface with the central bank systems. So one of the benefits of the new messaging standard is that it comes with enhanced information exchange between the banks that enables greater fraud detection and prevention and ensures a safer transaction for the future for all of us as consumers. So that's a great thing.
So it's a big moment for everyone, especially for the Bank of England, the BOE. So here we are. FinTech Accelerator Proof of Concept, Ripple, exploring the synchronized settlement of payments using the interledger protocol. Synchronized payments and settlements. We'll go back here. Let's see this project we were looking at, what it's about. Stella, joint research by the ECB and BOJ, synchronized cross-border payments. Okay, so that has everything to do with this here for the synchronized settlements of payments using interledger protocol. And again, we're not just focused on interledger, we're not just focused on Ripple. They are a big part of this. What I want you guys to recognize here and to understand is the RTGS system. What an RTGS system is, a unified ledger. There are more than one blockchains involved. And when you have a situation where there's more than one blockchains involved, you need to be able to bridge from this blockchain, XRPL, to this blockchain. Whether you're utilizing and sitting with assets on this blockchain, or there's a lot of blockchains layered on top, not essentially on top, but there's little connectors that allow them to communicate between each other for what their particular use case is. So the Bank of England's FinTech Accelerator works with innovative firms and new technologies. In this proof of concept, we wanted to explore the synchronized movement of two different currencies in two different simulated real-time gross settlement systems, real-time RTGS systems using the interledger protocol. Let's jump right into this. Bam. This is something I put together for you guys a while ago, and we're just going to do this. All right. So we're taking a pulled out view, a 50,000 view. We're in a plane or free falling and we're looking down on the earth, and this is what we see. Okay, we see the Payments Canada here. We'll see FedNow here. You also see in here when it goes live in March, on March 10th 2025 with ISO 20022 FedWire system, which is cross-border payments. FedNow is intra-jurisdictional, so it's just used for the US. It's domestic, just for the US. Just like in Europe, they have SEPA. SEPA is just used, the SEPA is just used in Europe. Single European payment. Single European payment. So all the countries in Europe that are part of this a part of this setup here, or this scheme, will be utilizing the euro dollar. Recently, what they're going to be adding now, who they're going to be adding is Dutch and Riksbank. So Sweden is who they're going to be adding to SEPA. So Europe has two systems, just like US. US has FedNow, which is domestic, and then they have FedWire, which is cross-border. Europe has SEPA, which is intra-jurisdictional, and then they also have T2, used to be known as Target 2, now known as T2, which is Europe's cross-border settlement mechanism. Okay, So let's take a closer look at what these RTGS systems can look like, and I'm going to show you my verification, my proof, validate what I had put together long before I had found this proof, just because I understand what they're doing. I've had this created for months now, months, probably even a year now. So Cosmos blockchain allows for bridges, right? Cosmos offers hubs and zones, and they offer bridges. Coreum is a bridge from Cosmos's hub. Picture this blockchain as a hub, as Cosmos, and leaving Cosmos is Coreum. So for this bank, we'll say Bank of Bitcoin here, we'll utilize Bitcoin, and won't call it Bitcoin, we'll call it the BOE. We'll call it the Bank of England, okay? Because that's who we've been talking about back here, Bank of England. So we're here, this Bitcoin is Bank of England. So Bank of England is looking to send money from this bank through the hub here over to, we'll say over to here, to the Monetary Authority of Singapore. That's where they're sending it to. So the Bank of England have to send money out. As it leaves, it enters a bridge, right? There's a bridge that it enters first. And during that same time that it enters a bridge to leave their ecosystem, there's a messaging system that happens. A message gets sent out. XLR offers messaging services. Ripple had recently come out, or XLR had recently come out, both of them, stating that they are working together to offer messaging services now. So XLR offers a message. That message gets sent from the BOE over here, triggers over here in this faster payment system, this hub. The faster payment system acts as a gateway. It acts as a gateway to say that something is coming, and then it also sends a message out to the end user, which here would be the MAS, Monetary Authority of Singapore. So that message comes all the way across here, here, and here. Finally gets to them, letting them know they're going to receive something of value soon, whenever that is. So that thing of value enters the Coreum bridge. Within this little ecosystem here, there's Sologenic. Sologenic offers an interface, a marketplace, an NFT marketplace, a digital asset marketplace, right? So that's how DeFi is utilized as well. I'm not going to get into that now, but this is just the RTGS system. This whole mechanism from here to here is an RTGS system. This is the plumbing of the digital realm. So it's viewed, the transaction that was triggered from the message onto the bridge is now viewed, can be viewed on Sologenic. And then from there, it exits again to the faster payment system. A faster payment system would be something such as one of these systems. One of these systems. These are your faster payment mechanisms here. Let me see if I can zoom in. I can't zoom in. But these are your faster payment mechanisms here. In Africa, you got PayShap. In Singapore, Thailand, you have Do It Now. Singapore, you have, I don't even remember. It's been a while since I looked at these. But you have FedNow in US, Payments Canada in Canada. You have UPI in India, and so on and so forth. So going back, then it leaves there, hits Coreum again, that bridge back out to the Cosmos ecosystem now. The Cosmos ecosystem now. It can also, when it gets to the hub, should it take the hub, because it doesn't have to take the hub. As you see here, and these zones here, all around here are zones, your central banks. It can just use interledger and go directly across from BOE right to MAS, directly across MAS, directly across, bypassing everything we're talking about now. But should it choose to take the Cosmos hub, it will go in here, the faster payment system here, as we were just discussing here, one of these faster payment systems. Enter into the Cosmos ecosystem. At that point, it can capitalize on Kava. Could capitalize on Kava. Here we are on the GitHub for Kava Labs. Here's some of their coding. As we go down, Here's the interledger SDK. All right, they're talking about streaming cross-chain payments between Bitcoin, Ethereum, DAI, XRP, and the interledger. They give you an overview and then the install, and it goes right into it. How to connect the SDK from Kava right to interledger. Not only that, Evmos, another one of Cosmos' bridges. You know what? Let me just show you Cosmos ecosystem. That'll make way more sense, and then you'll understand. So Cosmos is the center, the hub that offers all these bridges. And then there's Axelar, all right? So Evmo, let me go back. Evmos right here. Evmos collaborates with Ripple and Pierces to enhance the XRPL. Okay, so here we are. There's Evmos, there's Cosmos, there's Osmosis, there's Injective, Aura, Asset Mantle, Fetch AI. There are XPLA. There's all these different bridges that Cosmos offers. All of them. Jumping back. So what does this partnership do? The XRPL sidechain will be built leveraging Evmos, a modular and customizable tech stack offered by Evmos. Evmos enables EVM compatibility and fully customizability on top of the Cosmos SDK. It brings access to over 60 Cosmos SDK chains via the interblockchain. That's the IBC. Cosmos offers IBC, powered by Evmos, the XRPL EVM, Ethereum Virtual Machine sidechain aligns with industry standards and joins one of the most versatile Web3 ecosystem, the Interchain. Why is everything ERC20 compatible? Why is everything Ethereum? Why is Ripple changing their direction to ERC20 stuff for the EVM? Let me show you why. They're not changing their direction. Ripple adheres to regulations, even pre-regulations. BIS bulletin. All right. Learn and know. This is from April 2023. So here we go. So, okay, these services can be universal and apply to all tokens on the platform, or they can be domain dependent and specific to certain types of asset transactions. For instance, on the ERC, the Ethereum blockchain, the first to introduce programmability, a token following Ethereum's ERC20 standard, includes in its core layer data such as its name, the owner, and the number of tokens in circulation. So essentially, ERC20 is a standard. ERC20 is the standard for tokenization. So Ripple is following along the lines of those standards for tokenization because that's what Ethereum was for. But when Ripple has its whole ecosystem connected finally within the XRPL, XRPL will be the standard, not ERC20 any longer. Okay, so jumping back here, we're in the Cosmos hub at this point. They can take Cosmos or you can take Interledger, whichever. It's going to connect to another hub of Cosmos here because it has to connect. And the reason it has to connect, it's leaving this payment system, this Bank of England, to this hub here. Has to go to the hub here that's out in Singapore to get to the Monetary Authority of Singapore. So that's Pay Now system. That's the Pay Now for Singapore. So the Do It Now, or Pay UK, that's what it is, Pay UK. Jumping back, out here, it is Pay UK. They're so tiny you can't even see them. They're out here. Pay UK, that's who Europe's, or Bank of England's faster payment system, not Bank of England, but that's who England's faster payment system is, Pay UK. So this will be Pay UK, sends over here to Singapore, which is Pay Now. Transfers over here. You have the same thing that just happened here now. You have Coreum Bridge, you have the messaging system with XLR, reaches in Sologenic Visual, back out Coreum, messaging system, MAS receives that message through XLR, boom, done. What does that look like? I'll take you through it. So here we are. I'm not sure what interface these guys are using or these guys are using. It could be Finastra. I do recall Finastra being in Singapore. It could be R3. R3 has a visual as well as a API which connects other blockchains and digital assets into it, and the API is simply what you see on the screen, the software you see. You can connect anything else behind that system, but the software is what you see on your screen. Okay? So down here in Monetary Authority of Singapore, we have Finastra. We'll do this now. So Finastra offers the Finastra Total Messaging, Fusion Total Messaging. This is also capitalizing on RippleNet here. Finastra is a partner, well-known partner with Ripple. Fusion Total Messaging integrates with RippleNet for cross-border payments, connecting financial institutions globally through a single channel. It enables faster, cheaper, and more reliable international money transfers while adhering to banking standards. Central banks could utilize the system to oversee and regulate cross-border interbank system payments, enhancing monetary policy implementation and financial stability. So we already seen that the Bank of England is capitalizing on interledger protocol. They've already done some POCs here, as we're looking at right there. They've already done some proof of concepts, right? So Finastra, we'll keep going still. So what does Finastra offer if you decide, if the Bank of Singapore, Singapore Monetary Authority is using Finastra? They offer treasury management, all right? They offer cloud services as well. Okay, so then we go into the Cosmos Hub. If you remember, when you leave the bank, you now enter the bridge. When you get to the bridge and you end with that bridge, you are now into that hub. That is Cosmos ecosystem. So faster payment systems are transferring the financial landscape worldwide, ushering in a new era of efficiency and connectivity. The Cosmos Hub interconnects independent payment network zones. What are those independent payment network zones? Central banks, enabling cross-chain communications and secure token transfers between them. Each domestic payment rail, because they each have their own payment setup within their jurisdiction, represents a zone, while the hub facilitates interoperability, allowing seamless cross-border payments by relaying digital assets across connected zones. So Cosmos is moving this stuff, okay? This hub and zones architecture streamlines global financial connectivity among diverse payment systems. This would have to have been set up like this long before, meaning that someone had come to these digital asset or crypto companies and said, this is what we need. You are doing this one, you're doing that one, you're doing this one. Because there's no developers that are like, oh yeah, I want to make this thing, this financial plumbing system, and we have no idea about. No, they were taught about this stuff. That's what it is, all right? They're taught about this stuff. Cosmos ecosystem is a vast decentralized network connecting over 265 independent blockchains called zones. Look at them all there. Look at them all there. Through the Cosmos Hub and IBC protocol, it hosts diverse applications and services with over $665 billion in digital assets, fostering an interconnected internet of blockchains. And think, most blockchains aren't even connected yet. But at this point, it's still doing 65 billion. Just wait till you have interconnectivity. Also, interoperability, whatever you want to call it. Just wait till that happens. And you're going to see money flow across. And why does that matter? Because picture your dollar as XRP. XRP is continued on the Cosmos ecosystem. How is it continued? Because it goes from the XRP ledger to the Coreum bridge, Sologenic interface, Coreum bridge, Cosmos hub. Evmos allows for XRP to move. Axelar messaging allows for XRP information to be sent. Do you follow what I'm saying here? The Cosmos bridges allow for XRP to continue. Not just XRP, but other money mechanisms as well. The contract beneath all these things need to exist as well. So the contract, or the value, the underlying value, which would be the contract that states this particular thing is worth this amount of money, needs to move with it as well. Okay? So you can also do staking on Cosmos. So when it comes to DeFi, this is where you want to stake or set yourself up. Not just Cosmos, but along the RTGS system. That's what we're talking about here. Set yourself up along the RTGS system. So digitally, you're making money. And then when digital money's used, when I say digital monies, I mean stable coins and CBDCs. When the CBDCs are used, you can get liquidity pairs of those too along the RTGS system and play the system, game the system. So now we're in the Coreum bridge, right? Coreum bridge establishes cross-chain connectivity between the XRPL and the Cosmos ecosystem, enabling seamless asset transfers. It leverages the IBC protocol to facilitate reliable communication and frictionless token flows across over 100 IBC-enabled chains. Boom. Coreum offers DeFi. Weren't we not just talking about DeFi? Huh? Offers smart tokens. Huh? What's a smart token? A smart token is essentially a stable coin. That's a smart token. And there we go. Leaving Coreum and enter into the Sologenic. See how they work together there? So you get the visual and Sologenic. You feel what I'm saying there? Sologenic is a decentralized derivatives protocol built on the XRPL that enables tokenization of traditional assets like stocks, ETFs, commodities. It provides a DEX and wallet app for trading tokenized assets. Okay, that's a simple overview of the DEX. This is their marketplace. Right, their NFT marketplace isn't just going to be, ape pictures as it is right now. Eventually, we'll get to a scenario where those NFTs will be the actual value or the digital receipt. That's what NFTs actually are. They're the digital receipt to say that Mr. Man actually owns this thing and the value being transferred is Mr. Man's assets. And Mr. Man has legal claim on that asset being transferred. I know where it is in the RTGS system from time of holding till time sent. When it gets onto the bridge, when it gets into the interface, when it goes out of the bridge, when it finally reaches to Singapore. I know the whole system at this point. Alright, Coreum's a two-way bridge, not just in, but allows for out as well. Alright, Coreum allows for CBDCs. It has to. ISO 20022 compliant. Is this making sense to you yet? I'm giving you the game here. So now, here's how Coreum and interledger interoperate as well. Coreum utilizes the interledger protocol ILP to enable cross-blockchain communication, token transfer, and smart contract interaction between different networks like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cosmos. Do you see it all coming together now? Interledger allows for the continuity or the continuation of money, which is the singleness of money. When I say the singleness of money, I'm referring to XRP continuing on different ledgers, whether it's the original XRP and then it has to come over here to this Cosmos blockchain, so XRP gets locked up here in a smart contract, gets wrapped over here on Cosmos, and then the XRP, the wrapped XRP, is worth the value of this XRP that's locked up here, right? Because the contract here is what the contract here states, that this XRP is over here, and this XRP has the value of this XRP, even though it's on a different blockchain now. The singleness of money. All right. Here's how the ILP works. Enable seamless integration with various payment networks, including fast payments systems. That's what it specializes in, fast payment systems, to go from one faster payment to another faster payment. And here, how coincidental, we're at the faster payment system now. A faster payment system is a bank infrastructure that enables near real-time electronic funds transfer. That's the first image we were looking at when we were 50,000 feet above sea level there, or above the ground, and we could see all the different payment systems. Okay, and it offers end-to-end connectivity. So there's an overview of it. There's an overview of it here. When you first in Monetary Authority of Singapore here using Finastra, then you enter onto the bridge. Messaging sent by Axelar out to Coreum into the Cosmos hub, and you enter into Sologenic. and then the same thing on the way out. Or it could be different on the way out, depending on what that other bank RTGS system is set up. Okay, depending on how that's set up. That's the overview of it again, and this is how it looks. Alright, that is how it looks. So let's get a quick understanding. And when they say lakh in this video, lakh is just the Indian name word for dollar. That's what their dollar is, the rupee, but the lakh, whatever, okay? Check it out.
Real-time gross settlement, or RTGS, is a funds transfer mechanism where transfer of money takes place from one bank to another on a real-time and on a gross basis. The RTGS system is primarily meant for large value transactions. The minimum amount to be remitted through RTGS is 2 lakh rupees with no upper limit. Settlement in real time means the transaction is not subjected to any waiting period. The transactions are settled as soon as they are processed. Gross settlement means the transaction is settled on one-to-one basis without bunching with any other transaction. Considering that money transfer takes place in the books of the Reserve Bank of India, the payment is taken as final and irrevocable. RTGS transfer system is available on all days of the year. The transaction charges have been capped by the RBI. In the NEFT system, the transactions received up to a particular time are processed in batches. But in RTGS, the transactions are processed continuously on a transaction-by-transaction basis throughout the day. The remitting customer has to furnish the following information to a bank for initiating an RTGS remittance: the amount to be remitted, the account number to be debited, name of the beneficiary bank and branch, the IFSC number of the receiving branch, name of the beneficiary customer, account number of the beneficiary customer. Extreme care should be exercised in providing the account number of the beneficiary, as during processing RTGS transactions, the credit will be given to the customer's account solely based on the account number provided in the RTGS remittance instruction. Under normal circumstances, the beneficiary branches are expected to receive the funds in real time as soon as the funds are transferred by the remitting bank. The beneficiary bank must credit the beneficiary's account within 30 minutes of receiving the funds transfer message. While the customers do not have the facility to track an RTGS transaction, the RBI has implemented the feature of positive confirmation. Under this, the remitting bank would receive a message from RBI through the beneficiary bank that the money has been credited to the beneficiary customer account. Based on this, the remitting bank should advise the remitting customer that money has been credited to the receiving bank's beneficiary account. In case of non-credit or delay in credit to the beneficiary account, the customer can contact his or her bank. If the issue is not resolved satisfactorily, a complaint can be lodged with the RBI.
So literally just the other day, I put this out here. This is part of the new financial plumbing, right? The RTGS system. XRPL is at the starting point. Cosmos as the hub, Coreum as the bridge, Axelar as the messaging system, Polkadot as the parachain and contracts. And this is brought to you by Amazon. So my understanding of it was spot on. Here we go. Look at the very top. Oh, you can't even see it. Essentially, XRPL here. Can you see that? Okay. So the XRP ledger here. Cosmos hub, just like I'd shown you. The Coreum bridge is where it moves. The Axelar messages, you heard in that video we just watched there, that there's a message that gets sent out to notify them that something had happened, whether some funds were received. Here's Polkadot parachains, which acts as the contractual mechanism for this system here. Time-limited contracts. Time-limited contracts is the key thing. It's not just a continual contract. It's a time-limited contract. For me to send this money, or for the central bank, the BOE, to send it to a monetary authority in Singapore, there's a time-limited contract. So when it leaves here, BOE, and leaves through that mechanism and gets to the end user, MAS, Monetary Authority of Singapore, there's a contract. Whether that contract is 2 seconds, 30 seconds, 2 minutes, whatever it is, there's that contract for that particular payment. That's what that is. This is brought to you by Amazon, right? So I'm spot on with this one. I hope you guys found value in this one. I'll see you on the next one.
We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves.